Okay, once again, my name is Lisa, Associate Director of Admission and Recruitment for SFTV's grad programs. Thank you so much for joining. In just a couple moments, we're going to get started with our SFTV graduate presentation. And Professor Mike Daly is here. Mike, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Mike Daly. I'm the grad director for writing and producing for television program, but I can represent all programs, I think, if we need to. I know quite a bit of them. I've been here for 10 years full time, and before that, I was part time. I'm also an alumni of LMU and a big fan of the whole situation. So I'm happy to answer any questions for anything.
Thanks, Mike. I messaged you if you could cover slides 9 through 19.
Yes.
That would be awesome. And okay, well, we'll get started because folks who showed up on time deserve to get started on time. So hang on one moment. Let me pull up this presentation. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Get a head nod, a thumbs up, all good. Okay, so thank you for joining today. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our virtual information session. Today, you're going to learn all about all 4 of our master's programs. We offer 3 MFAs and 1 MS, and we'll get into all of those details. But for now, I want everyone to learn about all the ways you can connect with us. The deadline for the application for our MFA programs is coming up on November 15th. And in addition to this session, there are so many ways to connect with SFTV. I host one-on-one admission advising appointments. Those are offered every week up until the November 15th deadline. We are offering Playa Vista campus tours. This is pretty special and new. We'll get into the lay of the land at LMU shortly, but our SFTV grad program is housed at our Playa Vista campus. And you should definitely check it out. So this is a personalized visit. You will meet with myself or another admission representative one-on-one, get a tour, and we'll hopefully pair you up with a faculty member or a current student in the program that you're interested in. So I just dropped the link to sign up for those advising appointments or the Playa Vista campus tours. So as mentioned, our graduate programs are housed on our Playa Vista campus, and SFTV grad students really have the best of both worlds. Our main campus is in Westchester, just 10 minutes away from Playa Vista. And that is a traditional, enclosed, beautiful college campus. You have your library there, student center, our wonderful chapel. We're up on the bluffs. Today was a very clear day. I could see the Hollywood sign in the distance, very close to the beach. So it's really a magnificent place to be. But over at our Playa Vista campus, we rent an office space next to Meta, Peacock, several good taco places. I'm a fan of those. And it's a brand new state-of-the-art facility. You will have some classes on main campus. We have a shuttle that goes in between the two. It's free and about 10 minutes, but there's parking opportunities for students on both campuses. So if you rather would drive around, that's totally fine too. The 4 programs that we offer are 3 MFAs. These are in film and TV production, writing for the screen, writing and producing for TV, Professor Daly's program, and our Master in Entertainment Leadership and Management, not an MFA. These programs, the MFA deadline is on November 15th, and then the Master in Entertainment Leadership and Management, aka MELM, has its own set of deadline rounds. So we'll get into that. But good stuff to know. We are a small school and we are highly ranked. Second year in a row, we are ranked number 5 by the Hollywood Reporter. We're waiting for this year's RAP ranking, but last year we ranked number 8 by the RAP. We have a pretty small student body here on the grad side, about 250 programs throughout all 4 MFA programs, but we still maintain an 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so your classes are small and you're getting to know your professors. So for all 4 of our programs, we have the same core application requirements, and then each program has their own special set. We'll get into that shortly. But for the SFTV grad application itself, everyone must complete the application. There's a $50 fee. We'll need your official transcripts. In order for a transcript to be deemed official, it must come directly from your school to us. We can't accept transcripts from a student. If you're an international student, we do require the transcript credit evaluation. If your transcript is not in English, it must be sent to an outside agency, so it arrives to us in English. And we also require for international students the English language proficiency requirement. That can be done via TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo. Just have your scores sent to LMU. We require 2 letters of recommendation. A general rule of thumb with this is to get 1 from a past or current professor and 1 from a past or current supervisor. But if you've been out of undergrad for a while and simply don't keep up with your professors, that's fine. You could find another recommender. So getting into film and television production. So this is our most traditionally film school program, I would call it. And it's a pretty special curriculum. So all students start together. As a side note, all of our programs are cohort-based. New students only start in the fall, and you start with all your fellow new students. So film and TV production students take the same 3-semester common core. This is a great way to get to know your cohort. And it's not until your 3rd semester that you need to declare a specialization. So all of our MFA programs at LMU are 3 years, 6 undergraduate semesters, and they're designed similar to an undergrad academic calendar where you have a fall semester, winter break, spring semester, summer off. So in film and TV production, you don't have to declare your specialization towards the end of your 3rd semester once you've had a good taste into all 5. And those 5 specializations are directing fiction, directing nonfiction, creative producing, cinematography, and editing. I would say our largest ones are directing nonfiction and creative producing. Being that those are the larger ones, you can expect classes to be a bit on the bigger side, but still small, where you get to know your professor. And then I would say cinematography, editing, and directing fiction are a bit on the smaller side, so you could expect classes in those specializations to be smaller. So now supplemental application requirements for film and TV production. So with these supplemental requirements, not only exclusive for film and TV production, but for all of our programs, pay very special attention to the word count. We give it for a reason. We like to see that students, applicants can tell their story concisely, and it's even okay to go below the word count, but piece of advice, really try not to go above it. We like to see that you could tell your story concisely. So for film and TV production, the personal statement is, tell us your story. How have your life experiences, choices, and values shaped you? Is there a unique life challenge you've overcome? What stories do you want to tell as a filmmaker? Tell us about artists and creative influences that have inspired you. Why do you want to attend a film program? Why SFTV? And which specialization are you most interested in? Why? So you just need to tell us which specialization you're interested in. You're by no way declaring it. If you are admitted, again, you don't need to declare it until towards the end of that 3rd semester, once you've gotten to know more about all of them. We ask for a visual sample. The one required one is a 2 to 3 minute film shot on your cell phone and edited with any digital software in response to the following prompt of an unexpected gift. We ask that it's shot on a cell phone because that really evens the playing field for applicants. You never know who has a fancy camera and who doesn't. So please do shoot it on your cell phone, but you could edit it with anything you want. We have an optional video sample. You could choose to upload one additional sample that you have previously produced, 3 minutes maximum. For creative samples, we ask for a half to 1 page outline of a short format film project you'd like to create. This should be in treatment form, not script form, and give us a sense of the stories you want to tell and which genres you want to work with. Next creative sample is the unforgettable moment. This should be a one single spaced page describing a truly unforgettable moment you either experienced or witnessed. For the video recording, we ask that you create a video of 2 minutes telling us about who you are and what inspires you. Simply record yourself telling the story on camera. Don't script it. We can tell when you do. Don't perform, just be yourself. A piece of advice with this, you can keep it simple. Something that stuck out to me from this past admission cycle was a young woman in her dorm at her school on the East Coast, and she just walked us through how she makes a very elaborate breakfast every morning in her very small dorm. Like, I see you nodding. You remember that one, right? Yes, it was from your program. It was a good one. And it was really captivating. So no need to go crazy. You could do something simple. Just make sure it resonates with the audience. We also like to see a portfolio list for film and TV production. This is a written record of your creative material, included but not limited to film and TV. It should include a title and logline and the year of completion and the creative role in its production. Hang on one moment. My presentation keeps escaping me. Okay, so Mike, your turn. Take it away.
Yes. So, production is the first program that Lisa pointed out, but these next two are basically screenwriting programs. We did start when we opened our film school as just a screenwriting program for this, but in 2010 we branched off with the writing and producing for television program to not only focus more on television writing than writing for the screen. But also to prepare people to work in television, which in television, I don't know if you're aware, but the writers are in charge and they produce the television shows as well as write them. So there's a producing element to that program. But we're going to start. Are we starting with that? Yeah, we do start with that one.
Yep, so
Yeah, I'll dive right in. So this is my program. I started teaching the second cohort of this program was my first class, and I'm extremely attached to this program as well. I'm an alumni and that wishes I had this program when I went because I did work in television and I love the way this program has been designed. But it is really designed to not only teach you how to write television as a staff writer and all the other levels you would have, but we do want to start preparing you for the idea that you might someday become a showrunner. And showrunners in television are the people that are the hyphenated, they're creative leaders who work as directors and writing producers. So they don't always direct, but they oversee the direction of the show. Sometimes they do direct, like someone like Vince Gilligan started directing Breaking Bad because he, wanted to do that as well. But he was largely the showrunner on that show, right? He created it, he oversaw the writing and doing writing. You probably know, if you know television people, you probably know showrunners. Nobody really knows television directors, trust me. I think there's some amazing ones out there. They are not household names. But Shonda Rhimes is a household name. Vince Gilligan is maybe kind of a household name. I don't know if you've heard of Damon Lindelof. Ryan Murphy is another showrunner that's now like a giant deal with all his shows. So you may have heard of these names. These are showrunners, and that's kind of what we can't guarantee you're ever going to be a showrunner. It's a really small group of people that get that, but we want you to be prepared to help produce a show and help your showrunner out when you get the job as a writer. So that is the goal of this program. The application requirements are somewhat similar, but a little different because it's a little more writing. Personal statement of fewer of 1,000 words to write an essay or short story in response to one of the. So I'm sorry, the personal statement is the first. Yeah, so we give you some prompts on the personal statement. What lived experience fuel your creativity, or what themes are you curious to and convict to explore, or context of literature and movies that are important to you, and how do you see your writing, and then what do you want to say and why. Now, there's a world where you put all that in there, but any one of those is going to be a great personal statement for us to get a sense of who you are. We want some creative examples, a maximum of 10 pages of either a complete script um, or an excerpt from an original screenplay, pilot, podcast, or play. Provide a log line or note for the context, and then a brief synopsis, a brief paragraph synopsis of your dream TV show, either an hour or a half hour that you hope to write and show run one day. An optional additional sample is to submit a writing sample from a short story, prose, or an essay. We love to see like the different types of writing you can do. And then we want a one-page synopsis of a, so wait, this is sort of a repeat, right? I think we're doing the other one up there. Because this is a feature like screenplay. Is this for the writing for the screen instead, maybe?
I might have pulled that from writing from the screen.
Yeah, that's all right. So I think the other creative example up there, I think, is what we want. We want a brief synopsis of a TV show you'd like to write. And then lastly, we also require that video recording, same kind of thing as the production department. And we really do mean it when we don't want you to script it and perform. We really want you to be genuinely talking to us because we use that as just a way to get to know who you really are. And we really don't love them to be performative. We want to just see the real you. All right. And then for the writing for the screen program, so the big difference between these two is that in the production or in the writing and producing for television program, your final project is actually to produce a short. But unlike the production program, where if you were a directing student, you would produce a short and you're directing it, we don't need you to direct that thing. We want you to oversee it as if you were a showrunner, but we want you to produce something. That's really the goal. And so we've had people do animation projects in writing and producing for television as their thesis project, if they can get animators to actually do all that work. And we're also adding narrative podcasts now to be another example because we really just want you to like produce something and oversee things because that's part of our program. In addition, you'll put together a portfolio at the end of all the scripts you've written. Writing for the screen is the other screenwriting program, and it really focuses more on writing. So there is not a lot of production in it. You will absolutely have access to work on student films. We shoot about 500 student films a year. So there's plenty of time where you can get that experience. But the big thing is you're not required to actually produce something. You really just write in this program. You do write mainly 3 full screenplays. That's sort of the crux of the big classes you'll take. But in addition, you'll write teleplays, you'll write pilots, you'll write lots of different electives you can choose from to write different things. There's reality TV show, there's video game writing, there's sketch writing for late night, there's playwriting. So there's other things that you can get out of that program as well, but it is largely a writing program, and it's not just the big screen. That's why we call it writing for the screen, because it's also for television writing too. So you will come out with a lot of writing. Once again, oh wait, go back because it's pretty much the same requirements, right? Except that the synopsis will be for the feature like screenplay. Um, but the creative examples are the same as, and I guess maybe they are asking for a TV show. I'm not sure if we are overdoing that for both of them. Personal statement and the video as well, right, for this program too. Cool. All right, and so both of these programs culminate at the end of 3 years. We are a 3-year program, as Lisa pointed out. There's 2 big reasons for us to believe in the 3-year program. One is that you get to rewrite. We feel like a lot of programs that put you through in 2 years, they pump you into writing a bunch of first drafts, and they may not be great scripts. You're just going to finish like a bunch of drafts because you don't have the time. The 3rd year provides us time to really have you rewrite those scripts so that they're ready to go out into the world. In your final semester, not only will you be working on your thesis, whether that's a screenplay for writing for the screen or it's a thesis project for the, WPTV program, but you'll also be in a portfolio class where you're going to be rewriting and polishing all your projects before you leave. And in that class, we prepare you for first pitch. So one of the things that first pitch does at first, and so first pitch is you're actually going to pitch an idea You're going to practice pitching that in that class, and we prep you for it. We do some training. We have industry people come in and give you some notes on it. We also have alumni come back over Zoom and give you notes on it. And then when you go to first pitch, you are pitching to managers that are in the business that are eager to meet new talent. You're pitching to producers from small pod companies that are looking for things to produce and may actually take something you wrote in our program and try to get it right off and produced. We've had some incredible luck with Verse Pitch. It's like a speed dating event where you get to pitch about 10 to 12 people in the night, and then there's a reception to follow where you can actually try to reach out to other people that are there that maybe you didn't get to pitch to. That happened to one of our students. He pitched to 12 people, but one of the people he didn't pitch to came over to him because he saw the directory, which we'll talk about in a second. And he was interested in a project he wrote called Ratchet, which was Nurse Ratchet from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And that manager signed him over that project, ended up finding out a way to get the rights, and then got it to Ryan Murphy, and it became a Netflix show. And that student became an executive producer on his own show in 4 years of graduating. So now that is rare, but it's happened. And what we do get is a lot of people read at this event. You know, they will get requests to be read, and then they will also get requests to be represented. And so what goes hand in hand with first pitch is the next slide, which is the MFA screenwriting directory. So this is for both the writing for the screen program and the writing and producing for television program. We put together a screenwriting directory where you get a page of your own. It will be a picture of you with your contact information on one page. And then on the next page, you'll have your bio, which we work with you on to make like a very concise bio to really pitch who you are. And then we give you space to do about 3 to 4 to 5, maybe log lines for projects. This directory goes out to everyone in town. It literally goes to every agency, every management company, and every production company. So we get this out to everybody for you digitally. The people that come to first pitch get first dibs and get a hard copy. But we do send this out all over. And like I said, most people in our program get read after the first pitch event and because of this directory. And then Story Rush. This comes out of orientation. When you join us in one of the three, actually all four programs participate in this now. In orientation, we set up Story Rush for you guys, and we combine all the programs because we're trying to get you guys to meet each other in the different programs. And so you will be put on teams to pitch an idea and put together a pitch deck and a presentation for that. And then a week after orientation, we have what is officially called Story Rush, where all the groups get up and they pitch their ideas to us. This year, every year we have a theme for that, so we give you something to run off with, but it's just very simple. It's usually one word. This year it was humanity, and I will say my favorite group pitched a Pixar movie that they use AI to like create the characters on, and they made it about a manatee named Hugh. So it was Hugh Manatee. It was adorable and it looked like a perfect Pixar film. They knocked it out of the park because they even made the theme of the thing about, he wanted to be human. So what is humanity? It was brilliant. Anyway, so that's what Story Rush is. And then it's followed up by, do we talk about working with partners or? Now we do have an event like in the first year that's halfway through called Working with Partners. It's sort of a follow-up and we do pitching again. But industry mentor programs are right now for the two writing programs. I know production is looking into doing more mentorship, but we in screenwriting actually do have all of our MFA grads leave here with an industry connection. Melissa Blake is an alumni of ours from the screenwriting program. She's written on every television show you've ever heard of. And she knows everybody out there. So she actually painstakingly will read all the applications our students put together to pick a mentor, and she finds people that she thinks would be suited to them. Your mentor, after you graduate, will talk to you, will connect with you 3 times, whether it's over Zoom or actually in person. And many mentors have helped our students get jobs. But they're really just a resource for you. Events and networking and career development are huge here. We have a lot of them. We had this Hello Sunshine one with our dean. That's that top one picture, Hello Sunshine, is Reese Witherspoon's company. And at the event, was open to undergrads as well. There was a freshman who asked such a great question, she got an internship there. Literally, the woman was like, I need to meet you after this, and I am going to offer you a job. So that was amazing. We've had HBO people come from that. We had Everything Everywhere All at Once. What was the? Oh no, that's the Dungeon Dragon movie. Oh no, yeah, I'm trying to remember all these. The creators for that have come here. We have a lot of people come all the time every year, and it's because we're in LA, we have access to a lot of people. We have events all the time, and like so that RRR, I don't know if you guys know that movie. It did win for best score, and we actually had the composers come the day after the Oscars, and they brought their Oscar with them. It was kind of amazing. And actually, it's happened a couple times where when we brought somebody to campus, they just happened to have just won an Oscar, and so we're starting to say that we're the good luck charm, so they need to come and do our events. And then lastly, alumni projects. These are the all shows and movies that our alumni have been involved with. One of my favorite former students has written on The Bear and Atlanta, so she's a two for in this little picture. Swagger is a recent grad who she actually got that job as a staff writer on Swagger while she was still in the last year of my program. Um, Barbara Broccoli has donated our theater here, so we have a theater on campus called the Broccoli Theater. Barbara Broccoli is the has done all the most recent James Bond's movies as a producer. LA Confidential was written by an LMU grad. Catching Fire, The Hunger Games was directed by an LMU grad. Final Destination was written and directed by, I believe, James Wong, who's an LMU grad. We have writers on the morning show. We have, I told you about Ratchet. Oh, and I'm sorry, Karen Joseph Adcock also run on Yellow Jackets, but also another one of our alumni is written on that. So yeah, these are all shows that have had LMU alumni out there. And then you'll take it from here, or you.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Actually, we have a special guest. So at SFTV, we have a festival coordinator. Eric, I'll let you introduce yourself and tell our group about all the support you give SFTV students.
All right, great. Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Shao. I am the festival coordinator, festival advisor, whatever you want to call me here at LMU. What that means is that while you're working on your films, whether you're developing your story or you're in post and thinking about distribution, how to get your work out there, how to get yourself out there in the industry outside the confines of film school, I will meet with you to help you develop your individual film festival strategy. What that means is we'll talk about your festival goals, which festivals align best with your film, what festivals you should be targeting, how to shape your submission materials, and so on. And then once you've gotten into festivals, we can talk about how to make the most of your time there, how to network, how to leverage your participation in these festivals into something greater. Um, I'm also a firm believer that attending festivals, immersing yourself in that world can be essential to your development as a filmmaker, whether or not you were actually selected for that festival. For instance, this Saturday, we are hosting an LMU showcase at the Newport Beach Film Festival down in Orange County, where we'll be screening a few of our best short films from both current students and recent alumni. So, I don't know if any of you happen to be in the Orange County area this Saturday. Let me know by email. It's just my name, eric.shao@lmu.edu. I would love to invite you to the screening and our reception afterwards. And then hopefully you'll stick around, enjoy Newport Beach Film Festival. It's one of the most prestigious film festivals. There's my email address in the chat. Thank you. I think that's one of the big benefits of being in LA in the kind of Southern California region is we're just never at a shortage of great festivals, great films all the time. But sometimes we do want to get away from LA, get out of the confines of Southern California. So every January, I also take a group of select students to the Sundance Film Festival. So through that program, students can see firsthand how one of the most important gatherings in film markets in the industry functions. You'll be exposed not just to great films, but also great opportunities to build your network, make connections that you will hopefully enhance your career trajectory beyond your time at LMU. But beyond just film festivals, we can also talk about competitions, film fellowships, internships, grants. How I really like to frame my role is that I help you think about everything outside the confines of the university. So every week I send out a newsletter to the students highlighting key opportunities that help you develop your skills and experience that elevates your standing in the industry. So in a sense, my title may be festival advisor, but I'm here to always just kind of be your sounding board, someone to bounce ideas off of. I've worked a long time at a talent agency, as a development executive for a production company, for film, programs and fellowships, and as a film festival programmer. So my goal is to just bring that particular perspective of how the industry operates, what they're looking for, and to help you develop your storytelling talents and position yourself for success. So that's me.
And Eric, for the writing students, there festivals also offer that, right? I'm going to go to Austin, and
Yeah,
we call
I
it the
think Michael,
Writers
you
Fest,
should
right?
talk about Austin. I'm not really involved in the planning of that. I think that's the kind of the screenwriting department handles that. So Michael, yeah, please
Yeah,
tell us
just
about that.
so the writers in the group know that there are writing competitions for a lot of these film festivals. Sundance actually has a Sundance Lab as well, but Austin is become known as like the Writers Film Festival. It's still a film festival outright, but I'm going to be going there to do a couple panels. And LMU has a pretty good presence there over the last few years. And a lot of it is because our writing students are placing in those contests, and we wanted to see it, and we see it as a place to recruit our maybe future grad students too. So yeah, it's a little more writer friendly than some of the other film festivals. But it's another thing, like even if you get picked as a second rounder in one of their competitions, it's a great idea to go there and meet people and see other writers. Absolutely.
So Eric and Mike's time with us is a bit limited. If you have questions for either one of them, now would be a good time to ask. Feel free to just unmute yourself.
Any questions?
Hi, I have a question. Sorry, I'm like in a dark cave right now. But I heard you mention that for the humanity that students used AI, and I'm just curious how AI has been integrated into the curriculum for like the screenwriting. That's the part that I'm interested in. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have had a great debate in the screenwriting department about it. But I think a majority of us probably realize it's here and it's not going away. And a lot of other professional writers are utilizing it. So we just want to really we talk to our students about how to ethically use it. We definitely don't love the idea that like a lot of AI comes from things that they've ripped off from works that are not getting credit. But we do feel like because it's there and it's a tool, it's a great way to sort of spin ideas. Sometimes it's a great way to sort of, you know, make sure you're proofreading. I mean, we've been doing that for years with AI type things. So we're careful about it, but we've been all exploring it on our own as faculty members, and we are all sort of talking loosely about how much we allow in a classroom and how much we don't, obviously we don't want you to write a script with AI if we can avoid that, right? But and we don't feel like that's going to be in your best interest anyhow. Um, but it can definitely be a tool you can utilize, right? There's no excuse for sending a script out that has tons of typos, so even that alone is helpful. But also, to do some research and to move things along quicker. This pitch thing for first pitch or for story rush was something they have to throw together pretty fast, and so they could do a lot more with the AI that was available to them to like create some characters. So there's worlds where, especially as a writer, you can utilize it to do things like that to make stuff look better than maybe you'd be able to do normally by yourself. So we do talk about that.
Great, thank you.
Like, other questions?
If you're more comfortable typing a question in the chat box, that's also okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I can feel most programs.
Okay, so I'm going to take my turn now with the slides, and we'll get into our Master in Entertainment Leadership and Management. But from here moving forward, I'm going to refer to it as MELM, very long title. So this is a really unique program. It's jointly offered between the School of Film and TV, as well as our College of Business Administration. So you could think of it as a bit of a dual degree. And this is great for students who want to work in the entertainment industry. So the core curriculum of MELM is equal parts entertainment classes from SFTV, business classes from CBA, and then you could pick your specialization. If you want your electives to be more business focused, that's an option. More entertainment focused, that's an option too. This program can be done in 1 year if completed on time, or 2 years if done part-time. So, it's really up to you. If you just want to get school over with quicker, maybe don't have a ton of work or other life obligations, the 1 year track could be more sensible. But if you are working and have a lot of different obligations, maybe you want to spend a bit less time in school on a weekly basis and take your time more with the degree. That is up to you once admitted. So we have students apply for MELM in rounds. Coming up first is November 15th. This is early admission. So the benefit of this is simply getting a decision early, that nice peace of mind. Then we go into round 1, which is January 10th, round 2, which is March 10th, round 3 for international applications, that's May 15th, and then for domestic applications, round 3 is May 31st. We ask for the international applicants, we make that deadline sooner because it can take some time to get those translated documents that I mentioned over to us. So if you are an international student who's applying, it's never too soon to request an English evaluated version of your transcript and send us your English language proficiency scores. We continue to accept applications for MELM after May 31st until spaces are full for the program. And for the MELM application, so all those general application requirements that I mentioned for the MFA program still apply here, but the MELM specific ones for the personal statement, we ask no more than 2 pages double spaced. Tell us why you're pursuing the MELM program, the reasons why you're applying to LMU, and the unique strengths you bring. And we ask that you describe how you've approached diversity, equity, and inclusion in your personal and professional lives. So we also have a personal video. This is a bit different from the MFA ones, as we give you 2 prompts to pick from. 1, describe a business problem in the entertainment industry that you intend to solve during your career and explain why it's important to you. What are the outcomes you intend to achieve? How will your leadership and management skills contribute to these efforts? 2, do you identify more with the creative side of the entertainment industry or business side? Have you curated content in the past? Whether it's in the office or on set, how do you see yourself incorporating creativity in your future path? So I'm going to stop here with admission requirements. In just a few moments, we have 5 current SFTV graduate students joining us for a panel. So if you have any questions about the application process itself, anything mentioned up until this moment, while we wait a few minutes for our students to arrive, now would be a good time to ask.
Yes, I can answer this question that just popped up in the chat. Are there TA opportunities in screenwriting MFA programs? The panel you're about to meet, most of them are doing those jobs right now. There's TA and GA. So I have a graduate assistant. Miles will be hopefully on this call later. They are also the production class we teach for the screenwriting students and for the writing and producing for television the first semester. We usually recruit people from that class for the following year to be the TAs because they've taken the class and they understand that. So anyone who's really good with production or gets really excited about it can apply for those jobs. I will say most of the TA jobs are usually second year, but there are available jobs in your first year that you might be able to jump into, and not just in our program, but across the university. We've had a lot of students do that. So that will be helpful as well. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any others. But all of us grad directors have grads assistants, and then there's some TAs for certain classes, and those are absolutely available. And I do need to jump off, but I think if any other questions, please reach out to me via email. And anything about my program or even the other programs, the students are definitely gonna be able to answer. They're in the midst of it right now, and they are great spokespeople. And they don't have my bias. All right. Cool. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any brave souls on here who want to unmute, introduce yourself, share where you're from and which program you're interested in?
I'll talk because I talked already and I'm in a dark little room. I'm in Chicago, Illinois right now, so that's why it's so dark. And I am interested in the screenwriting programs. I didn't think I was going to be interested in the television producing, but after this, it is sounding very nice. Yeah.
Thank you, Anna. Nice to meet you. What time is it in Chicago that it's so dark already?
It's almost 7 o'clock. It's like 6:42. And it's been a gloomy day, so it's like extra dark right now.
Oh boy, spooky season.
Yes.
Yeah, in LA now, it's pitch black by 6:30. Fall is here. Would anyone else like to introduce themselves?
Yeah, my name is Danny. I'm here in Inglewood, California, and I'm interested in the MELM program. And I did have a question. I was just wondering, like, what kind of career path does the MELM program typically lead to?
Sure. So this is our second year of having the MELM program. So we are just starting to track our graduated student outcomes, but we've seen a lot of interest, people working in sports broadcasting, the music industry, even being on the HR side of an entertainment company, working in business development of an entertainment company. A lot of options out there. A goal of students in MELM is to work at a talent agency, plenty of those in LA. So it's really the business side, less of the creator
Mhm.
side of the
Oh,
entertainment business.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
My name's Beck. I'm from Lake Tahoe, and I'm looking at the film and television production. Specifically, I'm like curious about documentary stuff. Um, but I kind of had a question. There's a lot of like fiction-oriented like experts and stuff like that from the industry that are brought in. What support do they have for nonfiction?
Sorry, you cut out a tiny
Oh,
bit. Can you repeat the
sorry.
question back?
Yeah, what support do you guys have for nonfiction, like in like the industry in terms of like professional help and stuff like that? Because it seems like there's a lot of really great fiction stuff, and I wasn't sure if documentary was included in a
Yeah,
lot of it.
you kind of answered it already. So a big philosophy of our film and TV production professors is making a documentary as one of your first projects here at LMU. You learn all aspects of filmmaking. And being that directing nonfiction is pretty popular here, we have classes about documentary making. So there's a lot of curriculum support around that. And all five of our specializations have a department chair. So that's an extra professor that you can go to for help, who truly hones their craft in that specialization. Okay, I see Emma Verdonik is on, our first student for the student panel to arrive. You're right on time, Emma. I like that. So, Emma, if you want to get started by introducing yourself once the others arrive. Oh, Miles is here. Good, good, good. All right. Well, you know what? I'm jumping the gun a bit. Let's give the other students a moment or two, and then you can all introduce yourselves together, and we'll get into even more questions. Hey, Miles, thanks for joining.
Hi.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. So Emma, you start off, and Miles, go ahead. Why don't you introduce yourselves to the group, name the program you're in, the year you're graduating, where you're from, and any clubs, internships, or work experience you've done while you've been here at SFTV.
Hi, so I'm Emma. I am the graduate assistant to Waco Lynn. I am in my third year writing for the writing for the screen program. It's been a phenomenal experience. I'm from Pennsylvania, and before I've done several internships, like with A24, with 87 North, and then prior to this, I was working corporate as a literary manager's assistant for 2.5 years. And that has really helped my experience here because I got to read a ton of scripts and then apply what both does and does not work to when I'm writing in classes.
You. And Emma also helps out with a lot of admission events. Last year, she worked our admitted student meetup. So students, if you apply, end up getting an admission decision and come, you'll get to meet Emma, Miles, and probably the rest of the students on the panel today. So Miles, your turn. Please introduce yourself.
Hey everybody. My name is Miles Moody. I'm a second year writing and producing for TV student. I'm currently the graduate assistant for our grad director, Mike Daly. I'm also an RA in Levy 4 at LMU for the undergrads. Far as experience, I'm currently a part of Dirt Stain Roses Productions, which is an internship. I got opportunity to make a video podcast series for them, which was pretty cool. Currently working on a project with a writer's room. I have to announce more about that later because we're still trying to get that stuff figured out right now. Um, but yeah, this has been a really good experience in the SFTV. I came in very green to the program, still am pretty green, but it's given me a lot of knowledge about the industry and just has built me so much in such a short period of time. I've been able to meet with showrunners, producers, writers, directors, everybody. So it's been a pretty good experience. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, and Brianna just joined. Brianna, how about you introduce yourself? Tell us the year that you're in, your program, and any career internship club, student club experience you've had so far at SFTV.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brianna Elmore. I am a second year student at LMU, and I'm in the writing and producing for television program. What now, what was the rest of it? Girl, I came in right in here. You done threw me right in.
Internships,
What's going on?
jobs, clubs. Tell us everything you do, Brianna.
Okay. Okay, what I've had the opportunity to do, I haven't landed internships, but have been a part of some fellowship programs since becoming a LMU student. So right now I'm currently in a screenwriting fellowship for Dirt Stain Roses Productions, and it's actually a production company that is run by an LMU alumni. So she's amazing. Her name is Ebony Gilbert. She's absolutely fantastic. And so I've had the pleasure of working with her. And also I had the pleasure of working with Miles. Miles created an amazing podcast called From the Concrete that is produced by Dirt Stain Roses. And I host that podcast. So those have been the fun things that I've gotten to do. What else? Since being a part of LMU, I've served on the board of a fellowship program called Prelude. It's really amazing. It's ran by Abby Jacobson. If anybody's watched Broad City, or if you watch Long Story Short, she voices a character there. So those are the cool things. But other than that, I've definitely served on productions that were student led. And I've had the opportunity to serve those in a capacity as a producer. And so that's been a very valuable experience to me in my journey as well. Aside from stuff outside of the classroom, I've also really gained a lot of knowledge and confidence in my writing and my abilities to be able to do so. And to be able to do so under pressure because there are deadlines all up and through those classes. And so, so you do have to still, but we do have understanding professors, but again, you do want to make sure that you're moving and you're staying with the pace of everything because things can add up, things can get pretty hectic pretty quickly, especially if you're writing a few different stories at one time. So it's always good to, and I've learned how I work under pressure, how I don't work under pressure, how I also learned a good appropriate way to pace myself despite whatever the deadline may be. So I think that I've learned that. But again, I definitely have confidence since being a part of this program. I have confidence in myself, and I had it before, but this is just a different level of confidence. Now it's like, yes, I believe everybody belongs in at every table they find themselves at, and if you don't, you can fake it till you make it. But now my confidence is a tad bit unshakable. It's a little scary, but good scary.
Good. Thank you. That was a good share. I learned a lot about you. Okay, so prospective students, we have 3 current SFTV grad students on now. Now's your time to ask those student questions.
I have a question. This is kind of for everybody. So I'm interested in the screenwriting program. I'm not sure which one yet, but both sound very interesting. But I don't have a whole ton of experience with screenwriting. I just graduated with theater and with a degree in theater and communication. But I was wondering what you guys did in undergrad or what led you to the LMU program.
Let me answer this one because I feel like I feel like I'm pretty well suited to answer this. Okay, so I didn't have a lot of like virtually any screenwriting experience beforehand. I did like design and production in high school, which is like the backstage stuff for theater. I went to a performing arts high school for that. And then undergrad, I also got a degree in communications, but like a concentration in PR. What really got me into like writing was this like intro to screenwriting class I took. It was in the art department, and I was just curious on what that looked like. And my professor just really encouraged me, and he really like felt my voice. I guess he thought I had a voice there. I wasn't really sure what I was doing, wasn't even formatting stuff correctly. It was a mess when I look back at it now. But I was just really excited to tell my story, and he really championed that, and that kind of inspired me to want to take a turn into TV and film. Kind of always knew I wanted to do something in that field. There was always that interest of who's writing these stories, who's making this stuff happen. I found that fascinating. Um, I knew I wanted to go to film school after undergrad, and so I was like looking at different schools and kind of just learning how to write scripts. I was reading a lot of scripts. I was looking at their formatting. I was trying to figure out what stories I related to, the stories I want to tell, and I basically put my sample together based on like a couple of those. Like, okay, I was like, these are the stories that I want to tell. Let me find out how I can format them. Let me find out how I can share that story as best as I can and submit something. And I think honestly, what they're looking for at the end of the day is not the person that necessarily has the best skill on the page, but can you tell a story? Can you get those elements across, even if they're not the most elegant? Because you're going to learn how to do that. Like your first semester, we have, if you do the writing and producing for TV program, which I hope you do, we have elements of TV writing class. So you're literally learning how to write in the voice of all the different genres, comedy, drama, horror, procedural, like all the different types of shows that you see out there. The goal is just, hey, can you tell a story from point A to point B? And kind of just add in some details. So I wouldn't say you have to really come in with too much experience. Just be willing to learn and be excited about learning because that's what's happened to me. And I've gained so much from it. And now I do have a voice and now I can format my stuff correctly. And now I can write a story from point A to point B that actually makes sense and flows. And for me, I like comedy more. So that's funny and, things like that.
Personally, is that I wasn't even going to go to undergrad. I was going, like, our school brought in trade schools to talk to us. They didn't bring in college people, like college admissions people. This was not like a course. The entertainment industry was not a realistic thing in my mind. Like it wasn't even something you could pretend to want to do. I graduated undergrad with an English degree. I never wrote anything ever. Again, entertainment, not in my head at all. I was going to be a journalist. I had several jobs lined up until COVID hit. I had a random friend hook me up with an internship to be a literary manager's assistant. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's relevant to an English degree. Like, it'll keep something on my resume. And I was 25 when I like figured out what I wanted to do. I applied to LMU the same year that I started job hunting, and I actually got a job offer and got accepted to LMU the same day. So I deferred, and that's why I ended up with 2.5 years of experience on the corporate end of things. But the first script I ever wrote was for this school to get in. I didn't know structure. I didn't know anything like that. And for the writing for the screen program, you're in a 4-hour course with like the head of the entire writing department, where they're like going over structure, over like with movie after movie. You are literally, your assignment is to watch movies and come back and break them down by structure. They teach it so well here. The woman who teaches it is phenomenal. I go to her almost like so many writing for the screen students still go to her despite not having her afterwards to like look at their scripts. I once did not feel good about a script. It was last year, and we were on Zoom for an hour and a half. I had not had her since my first semester of first year. They will help you with structure, always. They will help you introduce you to things. Teachers love like taking the time. I have teachers that I had them once, and I to this day still go to them for help with other projects. You have a course where you're going to have to pitch at the end of the semester, and I had a teacher who I was like, hey, I need help with this, because he was very good at it. And hadn't had his class for like 2 semesters. We were on Zoom for like an hour, and I was just pitching over and over to him. They will help you here with the writing, the structure, all of it.
Thanks, Emma. I think Brianna had something to add too.
I do. So my background is my undergrad degree is in finance. Super different, has nothing to do with this. But it can funnel into the production side of things. So it's all, everybody needs finance. But aside from that, I feel like my story aligns with Miles's story in a few different places. So I definitely ended up teaching myself how to write scripts and, definitely put myself out there. And, I'm from Michigan, so I moved to Los Angeles and I was working in finance out here. And, I was still trying to make sure that I got my creative career moving, but it's just like, it's only so much that you can do. A lot of it is building network. It truly is about it's so many factors that go into being able to actually infiltrate everything in the spaces and places that you'd like to. And I wanted to be able to make sure that I was properly trained and super confident in that. And much like Miles, now we can write a story in whatever voice we want to, whatever tone we need to, you know what I mean? I feel like I can navigate a lot of different spaces. And again, imposter syndrome is real. It's real. I can't take it away from you. I can't even take it away from me all the time. But you do deserve to be here in trust, like especially like applying to the program and then continuing to move along in that process. That's helpful. You know what I mean? That's helpful to you belong anywhere you find yourself, but that's always helpful to continue to be confident in yourself, be confident in your abilities to write. And again, they will teach you. We start from scratch in the writing and producing program. And what I do, I can't speak to the writing for the screen program, because I'm not a writing for the screen student, but which is why we had my friend talk. But for me, I feel like WPTV, it helps you understand navigating the different mediums, because you are going to have to write episodes of existing shows. You're going to have to write your own original comedy and drama. You're going to have to write a movie still. You know what I mean? So it's like you're not getting away from really understanding and learning the mechanisms of writing really in those different formats. But I definitely value my track here. So hopefully that was helpful.
Very helpful. Thank you. Okay, do
Yeah,
we have any other
thank you.
questions?
I have a quick question. For like you kind of talked about this, Emma, but for faculty student like interactions and stuff like that, what does it look like at LMU to be like working with faculty? Are you guys friendly, or like are you guys friends? How close is it? Yeah.
Oh my God, it's honestly phenomenal. Is that again, teachers that I haven't had since first year, I can reach out to, and they will help me with projects that are completely different. I actually, and I think like to really surmise how phenomenal and how passionate they are, like genuinely passionate about projects. So me and two other students in my class are creating like an animated short web series. And we have a writer here at LMU, Matthew Price, who was like on The Office. He wrote for all like 7 seasons of The Amazing Gumball, like was really in the animated space. And we asked for a meeting with him. Again, none of us had ever had this man, ever. We never came into contact. We were not on his radar. And he got on in summer, by the way, when they're not getting paid. Got on in the summer with us, had a meeting, read our script, gave us notes, and then like followed up without us asking a few weeks later to be like, hey, how's this going? And now we're going to ask him to be an EP on this show. And this was a guy who just loved animation, found our little short, silly script about sock puppets to be really fun, and wanted to help. And then when the faculty meeting happened at the beginning of the year between all of the teachers, I was working the orientations, one of the first things of the year that occurs. And all the heads of our department came up and said, Matt Price was talking all about you guys and how fun this was and how amazing this was and how awesome it is to see people working on projects outside of. It's incredible the relations you can build with teachers when you go out of your way.
Thank you. Okay, and Athena joined. Athena, do you want to unmute, introduce yourself, tell us the year you're in, the program you're in, and any job, internship, or student club experience you've had at SFTV so far?
Yes, I can. Hi, my name is Athena. I am a third year graduate WPTV major. That's writing and producing for TV. Maybe I shouldn't say the acronyms now. Yeah, sorry, it was internships, right? And jobs, or just.
Yeah, anything you've done
Oh.
while you've been an LMU student, the
Yeah.
group would love to know.
Gotcha. Yeah, when I first came, I had a couple different jobs on campus, like just grad assistant jobs. I worked at the lighting and grip department. We have that like a physical space. I have a production background, so I really wanted to see and feel the LMU equipment. So that was my first job. And then sorry, giving a little bit of a long spiel, sorry. But from there, ended up working on a lot of sets where I got asked to be the grad assistant of the student production office. So I kind of oversee a lot of student filmmaking. So I meet a lot of undergrads, grad students, and just help people get crew, permits, any kind of production related questions I answer on my job. In terms of internships, I've actually only had 2, but I had American High. If you know that company, I did script coverage for them. And then I also this semester I got the TV Academy internship. So I'm their production management intern, excuse me.
That
Yeah.
sounds really cool. Okay, I'm gonna keep asking the group any questions.
I have another one. I was wondering
You're the MVP, Anna. I'm just gonna say that.
I'm just
Thank you
curious.
for such great participation.
I was wondering if any of you guys have experience being like a TA in your class or like in the program or in other programs, because I know, oh gosh, his name is Michael Daly, who was just on here, was talking about how that's an opportunity. Yeah, and even if you haven't, if you've heard anything or if you've had TAs, like what any knowledge you have about that you'd like to share.
I can go. I'm not a TA, but a lot of my friends are, a lot of our peers are. It's ample opportunity to TA. Whether for grad or undergrad, like you might get asked to TA the class that you had like after your first year. You can TA for the in your second year for the first years. And then also you can TA for the first year freshman people as well, and sophomores, juniors. Just kind of depends on what type of classes you're looking at to TA for and what connections you make with the professors to kind of build on what Emma said.
Also, like it really helps your skill set to TA is that I have a friend who's TAing undergrads this year, and it's like helping him hone his skills with like giving notes because it's a whole different like playing field. Like you really have to be on top of your game with it. And I will say is that back like there was a class we had with a TA, and the TA, like the teacher loved her to death, but she could like sometimes talk in circles a little bit and almost overcomplicate things. And this TA was ended up being so good at what they did that like she simplified everything every single time. And we went to her over and over, and she got so good at it. And she just won a competition at uh, in the UK for her screenwrite for a script. TAing does more than just like put a few bucks in your wallet. It also helps you so much with the writing you're doing.
I'd also like to say it kind of depends on what you want to do for your degree. So like because an MFA is a terminal degree, you could also teach after you get your degree. So if that's what you're interested in, TAing kind of gives you like a little sneak peek of what it would be like, especially if you're a teacher's assistant for an undergrad class, because you have access to teaching undergrad students potentially after you graduate. So that's a great opportunity there. Otherwise, if you just want some money in your pocket and you find like a class that you are passionate about, that you took, like Athena said, maybe you want to TA the production class that you take after your first year. When you're in your second year, you want to TA that class for new incoming students. That would be your opportunity to like give back and also maybe showcase like, hey, we didn't learn this, or this could have been a little more helpful in my experience. Let me show you how to get that done so you make it easier for the people that come behind you.
A follow-up question to that is just for work in general. Is it achievable to like be working part-time while you're a student? Like, is that whether even if it's not TA?
Okay. I work 3 jobs. I work 25 hours at a little market down the road from me. I do about 10 to 15 hours for this job. And then like this random guy found me, and I run dogs 6:30 in the morning. I'm not going to say it's like the easiest thing in the world, but yes, you can work. And I think like I'm a very extreme example, which is why I'm sharing this. It's doable. It's very doable, and like it's achievable. It absolutely is. I work a ton. I also put out stuff that I am very proud of the quality of what it is. I never am like doing wrong. I'm getting up sometimes at 5 a.m. to start writing, but it is achievable. Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Athena.
I want to also jump in. I totally agree with Emma. I just also gotta say, yeah, I started up with 3 jobs. Now I have two. I'm kind of looking for a third. I'm gonna probably be a little girls basketball coach again. I did that in high school. I'll maybe do it again now. We'll see the vibe. If anyone, but yeah, I also will say been a few people that I know throughout the program, that lifestyle doesn't work for them. For example, one of my closest friends, she was my roommate. She had to quit her job or school. Like that was kind of the mentality there. It's just what she can't handle. Like she was an SFTV major production and she just really couldn't handle it all. So I think you know yourself better than anyone can. Don't just sign up for everything because you think you can. It is still school. Like that is something, you won't have the GEs of undergrad, but you will still have like hard assignments. Like yeah, been right there with Emma waking up at 5 a.m. to finish like a pilot that is due that same later that day. But just keep that in mind. You can do it all, but depends on who you are. Like your all might be different than other people, right? Like I've seen some of my friends crash and burn at school, this school, other schools, life. Like it just kind of could be burnout time if you overexert yourself. I just had to mention that because my roommate definitely couldn't handle both. And no offense to her, just she had other priorities too.
The only thing I'll add to that is saying like you just have to choose things that are flexible or be very upfront. And I think you have to do that period just to be a student or an adult.
I think Brianna's frozen. Let's give her a minute to come back. Defrost. Okay, she's working on that. In closing, do we have any final questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, Jesse, what's your
Hi,
question?
yeah, my name is Jesse. Nice to meet you all. This is very much a personal question, so I apologize if it doesn't apply to everyone else on this call. But I don't want to date myself, but I'm very many years removed from my undergrad. I've actually been producing commercials as a freelancer with the ad agencies, production studios for over 10 years now, so I'm old or older. Um, so I've been looking to apply to a couple of graduate film programs to just, transition more to entertainment film. So I know people say you're never too old to go back to school. So this is a very probably like stereotypical question, but I guess do you with I know there's a lot of people who go to school right after the undergrad, and a lot of people here do appear to be very young. But is there very much a wide age range of people in graduate programs? Like you have too young to very much older, very much because it's I'm very self-conscious about like questioning my decision to go back to school. So I know that's a very broad and general question, but
No, that's a good question. And I'll let the students dive in. They're the one actually in classes, but from a recruitment standpoint, a lot of people go to grad school to change careers. That happens later in life for some. You also see veterans come to graduate school too. Those tend to be what I call our later in life students. So Jesse, you wouldn't be alone if you do decide to come here. We do have a decent amount of students though, freshly out of undergrad, but that's the beauty of grad school, having a mix of people from all different walks of life, stages of life. I'm sure you'll bring great work and professional experience into the classroom. So certainly not something to feel funny about, but I'll let the students add on to that.
Can I take it? I swear I won't leave. I don't know. I didn't
You
realize.
froze on us,
But
Brianna,
I
but
don't
here
know.
you
It
are,
just
so
went
all
out, and I was
good.
just like, well, great. So but myself, definitely I have like, oh my God, y'all, please, my God. Anyway, I have utilized everything. I've utilized this program to go from working in finance to being able to occupy a career space in writing as well as producing for television. And I think that, don't let any of those things hold you back. Just like what Anna said, it was just like, like, oh, I don't, I'm nervous because I don't necessarily have a super background. That is what we're here to do. We're here to learn. We're here to expose ourselves to something that's different that we may not have had the opportunity to do had we not been a part of a graduate program. So I feel like you shouldn't feel any kind of way about it. And again, at the end of the day, we are all in here and we're all students. We all still turn in these assignments. and you'll find that you'll probably end up bonding with your cohort mates. I know that has been the case for myself, and we vary in ages because I graduated from undergrad and then I started working in finance for a few years. So it wasn't immediate, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, it doesn't come up. It doesn't come up as much as you would think. It's just like, okay, well, did you get that assignment done? Cool. Or, oh my God, how are you working through these things? You're right back into the world of being a student. So if you did come from undergrad, cool. If you have maybe a slightly non-traditional route to grad school, that's still okay. And everybody is welcoming to everybody, I don't think it's anything to feel, kind of apprehensive about at all. I think it's a good program, especially because again, you have people from multiple walks of life. And even if you are the same age, we have different life experiences regardless. So
Thanks, Brianna.
you're welcome.
Okay, so before we conclude, Emma, Brianna, Miles, Athena, any parting words of advice or anything that you didn't get a chance to share with the group of prospective students that you think would be good for them to know?
Yeah. I remember being in y'all's shoes. I think I maybe literally attended this panel. It's been maybe a minute. But yeah, I would also tour the schools. Like you might love the program and love the school. Like I love LMU so much. It was literally my number one choice to come here. And I felt at home when I came and visited. Hopefully you feel the same, but else you're looking at too, make sure to go and scout. Like the other schools, won't mention their names, doesn't matter, but I visited and I didn't feel at home. Like just no one was kind. Not no one. Okay, that's maybe a little much, but just the environment didn't feel welcoming, and LMU totally did. So just keep that in mind. This online thing is great, but also like going there, imagining yourself being there, I think can also really help you make that decision too.
You're entering a really exciting time in the school where, to be blunt, we have a lot of young directors running the program with a lot of new ideas that are really cool, that are not forcing, but like they are allowing people to interact among each program more than ever. And like I'm seeing it firsthand is that we have like a screenwriting competition that I've helped facilitate for the last 2 years, and we'll do it again this year, where like you have actual execs and managers and agents reading all of your shit if you're in the writing program, and and it's fantastic. Sorry.
Whatever.
It's fantastic and it's wonderful, and they're coming up with new ideas all the time because they are always in my inbox. But like this is a really exciting time to join LMU, and like not to bring up rankings, but we've gone with all the new initiatives, we have gone from number 8 to number 4 within the last 2 years I've been here. That's crazy. That's amazing. We're in front of people all the time now, like almost too much. Like, give me a break. And I also think that the teachers are super phenomenal. Everyone tries to work with you, like no matter what. And no, this is a really great program that tries to really hard to cater to like what you're trying to do.
Oh, I'm gonna say something real quick to the people. Um, like y'all, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Do it scared. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I'm gonna apply to one of the top film schools in the country. And I didn't have the film background. I had the TV background like that. I knew I loved television. I knew that I wanted to write things that inspire people, that shape their lives, that told narratives of people that looked like me. But I didn't exactly know how to format that or how to put that together. but I took a risk and a chance on myself. And I think because of that, it's led me to so many great opportunities that exist here. So just take that risk, apply, and just see what happens at the bare minimum. But when you do get here, and I'm hoping that you do, when you get here, take advantage of everything that is put in front of your face. I've had so many amazing opportunities come up to me, literally just because I saw that there was a flyer for an event. I went to it, I met someone, that's how I got an internship. It's literally as easy as just talking to somebody at this event that we have with like the production students. It's called Working with Partners. I got to meet the creators of Liv and Maddie. Now, I don't know if y'all was watching Liv and Maddie when y'all was kids, but I was. I was a teenager, so I wasn't really a kid, but that's not the point. I was still watching it, unashamed, and I got a chance to meet them and like talk to them. And because of that, the project that I ended up working with Brianna on, they ended up coming on and being guests on the podcast. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't actually just sit with them and like get a chance to actually get to know them. So just be willing to be open and don't close yourself off to opportunities, to people, to anything, because you never know what greatness may happen. And also look at the people that are coming in like beside you. Those are the people that you're going to enter the industry with. So, like all these people that you're in this Zoom call with could very well be the next great writer, director, producer, whatever the case may be. So take it seriously as well. But have fun. Don't forget to have fun because we are in LA. We're going to have a great time. And there's so many amazing things you get to make. So that's all I have to say.
Did anyone get to go to the Paul Thomas Anderson event last week?
No.
That sold out fast.
We had
No,
class too.
I know it was class called.
Yeah, for those who don't know, so we do a lot of screenings here at LMU. Last week, Paul Thomas Anderson came to campus to screen his new movie. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. What is it called?
One battle after another.
Yes, thank you, Jesse. So he screened it, he did a Q&A, it was awesome. Last spring, we had director Todd Phillips, he made The Hangover and a bunch of other movies, come to campus for a Q&A session as well. We screened Wicked on campus with John M. Chu in attendance. We had the filmmakers from Heretic come and speak about their films, so lots of exciting things from big to small. Always happening. But thank you all so much for attending today. Thank you for the current students for giving up some study time or work time to join.